Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. But before we do that, let's take a look at the championship standings because they're all looking pretty solid here in GP3. And I've just been told something which I'll have to deal with in a moment. I've just been told something. Since his win in Baku, C. Pasley has taken over the lead of the championship by 2 points. He leads Blaz MK in second, ahead of Primary Rex in third. Ryan Van Doom is in P4. Alston Senegal is in P5 and Gaming Things after two strong results is in P6. Dr. Special Energy is in P7. Alco is in P8. Luke Beck is in P9. GA is in P10. Outside of the top 10, Laser Lord is in P11, Pro Oliver is in P12, and Hegloof, who is not here tonight, is in P13. Psychowitch is in P14, Meaty Soldier is in P15, Chain Game Woo is in P16, and in P17 is Racing Podge. P18 is Sigard, who's not here tonight. P19 is TGR JB Ogun, and P20 is Oima. We will just attempt to quickly mute all players. Do excuse me, usual. Thank you. Sorry. The championship standings are now looking very, very, very yellow. And that is Renault in P1 ahead of Mercedes in P2. Williams dropping down to P3. Alfa Romeo in P4 and Toro Rosso in P5. P6 is the Sports Plaza Racing Point team. In P7 is Haas. P8 is Ferrari. P9 is McLaren. And P10 is Red Bull. I have just been told I have to host a party, so just give me 2 seconds. Do excuse us for the screen going blue. I'll just make the party quickly, and then we'll be able to get in there. Right. So we're just waiting on Twan to join us. So Twan will be joining us 15 minutes into here. So right, let me just handle this. There we go. Okay. Sorry, having a bit of a mess right now. It's a bit of a mess. So, heading over to qualifying. We're here at Montreal in Canada, and it's a dry qualifying for the 17 drivers here in GP3. We might have an 18th driver joining us later on in missing qualifying. So, tonight we have Alston Senegal, Psychomich, Laser Lord, C. Pasley, Chain Game Woo, and Gaming Things, Racing Podge, JB Ogun, Smelly Badger, who's covering for Alco, Pro Oliver, Lee Nell, who's not racing. Dr. Special Energy, Luke Beck, GA, and Blaz MK, Meaty Soldier, and Ryan Van Doom are our drivers tonight. So exclude Lee Nell from your little lists of fans. We'll have a look at what we can do. Yes, that is another thing. We are missing one Toro Rosso. Actually, we're missing both Toro Rossos tonight. We're missing Primary Rex due to his PlayStation Plus running out, and unfortunately, Primary Rex has damaged his headset, so his headset has failed to start working. Then then he won't be on commentary for a couple of weeks, which is unfortunate, but at the same time. So, we see a driver on track. It is a Ferrari of Racing Podge. Let me just finish writing the tweet I was writing. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, well. I'll have to tweet after the event. So, Racing Podge is the first out on track ahead of Smelly Badger in P9. It's alright. It's alright, Alex. As I have to walk over and let my cat out of the room. It's alright. These things happen. That's why I always have a backup headset on my list. Good luck to all the GP3 drivers as they roll out onto track side now. On my own right now, as we're waiting for Twan to join us. And there's already damage. Racing Podge damaging his car on the outlap. The 66 is going to be in severe pain as he drives out onto the road. And now we see him limping back. That's going to really hurt around this Canadian circuit. Let's see, Chain Game just leaving pit lane now. And Gaming Things will be our first driver, I think our first driver across the line. No, Smelly Badger will be our first driver crossing the line here. With it in Hockenheim in GP3, heading down. Underwater crash. Rain 45 minutes into the race. GP3 is cursed, says C. Pasley. My favourite Renault giving me, well, I don't say my favourite Renault, but my favourite Renault team giving me a nice one. Renault team in GP2, you have to try and make me your, I'm going to give up talking now. Smelly Badger running down now. He uses these sessions as a practice session for the GP2 races, but he also likes to have some fun. Struggled a lot in Baku, but now running round, he's going to try and get this car up to speed and show what he can do in the McLaren. Driven several different cars in the last few races in GP3 he has. Thank God I'm not racing, says Alex. So Private Rex will score no points tonight, but we'll see what the rest of the drivers can do. Championship leader C. Pasley still in pit lane. Here comes Smelly Badger. GP2 elect here to come and play with the GP3 drivers, come to give him a nice show. But the thing is, Smelly Badger likes it down here, so maybe he'll make a permanent move. Who knows? Ooh. I think a nice coffee today. Got coffee in my lap. I scored all the points. Yes, he did. Smelly Badger's first lap crossing the line will be a 1:10.7. Gaining things, I think he's the next driver across the track, unless he's giving it up to the Alfa Romeo, who I think has just started his lap of Laser Lords. Tyres we brought to this event: Hypersoft, Super Softs, and Ultra Softs, not in that order of softness. We will see what they can do. What can the Mercedes man do? Had a string of podiums more recently in GP3. Lots of the 2 second places on overdue for a win, I would say, for the Mercedes team. Running down now towards the final corner, towards the wall of champions. Will we see a champion hit this wall tonight? We shall see. Gaming things. Last one a race in the classic series of SFR. Crossing the line to 1:10.5. That is provisional pole position on the super soft tyres. 1:11.7 was a time from Meaty Soldier. Here's Laser Lord this lap. So quick. Contact with the wall from the Alfa Romeo. Running up and down. Alfa Senegal going third. Laser Lord going first with a 1:9.7. Wasn't Spain boring? Yes. If you haven't seen a Formula 1 race, don't. It's so boring. Watch about 3 minutes of it, or watch later on when Lance Stroll can't drive. Now running through, here's Ryan Van Doom, our favourite supervillain. DRS open. No superhero here to stop him tonight. What can he do? Crossing the line. It's P3, the ultra soft runner. Do excuse me if I'm coughing. Hay fever's got me pretty bad this last week. Oliver running down towards the line. There's C. Pasley ahead. I think he's starting his lap. Come on, TNR, the Zeke Trexter. I've got a few TNR. I've only got, I think, one TNR driver actually in here tonight. JB Hogan. Waiting for Emil to join us later on in the session. Crossing the line comes Oliver. He goes P12, staying the same way as he was. Oh, do excuse me. So, Laser Lord is our current pole sitter on a 1:9.7, but remember, he's on the Hypersoft compound of tyres, and we're watching C. Pasley come through with his rather caramel latte-esque helmet with a bit of black on top. I quite like that helmet. I quite like that analogy, too. That was Lando's fault. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Lando's fault. Wasn't. I won't change my mind. Anyway, we'll go off that decision. C. Pasley running down now. Heading towards the hairpin. This hairpin, fantastic. Lots of conversations now about Formula 1. How many people are going to now react about the news that Zandvoort is taking over from the Spanish Grand Prix here in F1 2020? That is coming in a year's time, and that will be a couple more seasons in SFR before we get to play around that track. Personally, I don't think I'm a fan of that track. C. Pasley now running down towards the line on the super soft tyres. Had a race win the last week and he goes second. His first race win in SFR, and he's looking to push on and have a second. Oliver going 9th. And there you see a couple of drivers coming out of the pit lane. Here's Racing Porge after damaging his car on his first run. He's going to come down, brake hard and spin round. Running up towards the line. Lots of conversation in chat tonight. I do like it when we have a nice active chat. Though I can't keep up with all the conversations that I have got to talk repeatedly here on the stream. Heading down towards this masterful chicane. We saw a Ferrari bin it here many years ago with Michael Schumacher. But this time, he isn't going to bin it. Now Racing Pod up and round towards the line. Racing Boy only going 7th. The Swedish driver. Sorry, not Swiss. He'll punch me for that one later. We do like Racing Pod though. Sykovich down towards this corner. We saw Fernando Alonso get up into the stands after his car failed there. Not a surprise, it was Fernando Alonso. And Alston Senegal retiring in Sector 2. Seems there must be damage for the Renault with 10 minutes to go of this qualifying session. Do excuse me. I'm getting sick again. Everyone knows how sick I get. I get sick very easily. So, yeah. Running down now, Sykovich heading towards the chicane. What can he do on his super soft tyres? Sorry, keep getting the 2019 tyres mixed up. Crossing the line now. Sykovich going P11. Unfortunately, an invalidated lap time for the British driver. It looks to be that Racing Point is on an in-lap. What can chain game? Wow, get up to in his Mercedes. Can he beat the racing Ryan ahead of him? Coming up towards the final corner, Luke Beck going second. Such a tight grid here in GP3. Crossing the line, it's very quick. It's fourth for Chain Game Woo. Gaming Things crossing the line, heading towards his first lap on the ultra soft tyres, the medium compounded tyres we brought tonight. With that, the SFR stewards deciding that we'd bring different compounded tyres. Here's Dr. Special Energy, a new addition to the admin team is Dr. Special Energy, and we very much welcome him to have that. So he has that nice little thing there, and he might get me referring to him by his first name. I won't tell you his last name, but it begins with the letter D. It's definitely not Drinks Company. His name is not Special Energy Drinks Company. Crossing the line now, heading towards the DRS line. Oh, that's already been cut, sorry. Crossing the line now, and it's P11 for the Doctor. What can he get up to in this race later on? Slow for the Williams of JB Ogan. Both Williams not set up time yet. Not down to the car this time. Down to the drivers making their choice. Where's Cyclist coming through turn 1 and 2? He's 8 tenths down in the last event. We have Linnell here. Remember, he is not racing, so he will not be qualifying. JB Ogan crossing the line to start his lap time. He's already feeling confident in that car. Ryan Van Doom has just started his lap once more. And Gaming Things just coming to end it. What can he do? Can he match his teammate and overthrow Smelly Badger for P5? Lots of oversteer as he comes through the corner. Caught it well. It's very quick. It's a 1.9.4 and it's provisional pole position by a fair margin to Laserlord. And he's going to be thinking, crikey, where do you get all that power from? Remember, Ryan Van Doom out on the Hypersoft tyres right now. What can he get up to? JB Ogan for the win today, says T. John as well. He always has to support his teams. We'll have a look at what JB Ogan can get up to. I had a nice chat with him, actually. I was racing against him. Racing. I was crashing. He was finishing. So Chain Gang WoW cannot see everyone's PSN names. So maybe that's down. That's an old glitch that we had in the F1 game. JB Ogan hitting the wall on his lap round. Unfortunately, there's no way to rectify that. So Chain Game is going to have to just go for the entire race without seeing everyone's names. It's almost like doing it in a pro career mode. What can JB Ogan get up to? He's dropping down tracks. Remember, this man has only been racing on this game for 3 months, and it's a 1:13.1. Where's GA, the Scotsman, just starting his lap time now? Hoping that he can improve on his position now. Where's Blaz MK, the Croatian driver? It could probably fit for the race. I'm sure he's Croatian. I hope he's not. I hope he's Croatian, because I've just mentioned that. Getting dark here in qualifying, though. So maybe we might see some wet running in qualifying. Who knows? Oh, he's so much speed there. So much commitment through there. No DRS open, no. It's only P17, maybe. There's a DRS issue for the Williams. Oliver just started his lap on the ultra soft tyres, but we're going to look back up. Look at that Laserlord in P2 ahead of his teammate in P3. The Alfa Romeo is locking out the second and third lines, but Gaming Things still comfortable on the ultra soft tyres. He loves this track. Any helmets taking my fancy? I haven't really looked, to be completely honest. I haven't mentioned the helmets for a while yet. Leave me alone. I'm getting bullied by the race director. So still waiting on Twan to join us for commentary. I sent him a couple of invites. Twan will be joining us as soon as possible. It's funny, I just mentioned that. I'm just going to message him quickly. Crossing the line now is Laserlord. He's got a 1:11.2, only a few seconds slower than his previous lap. Smelly Badger on a lap now. The McLaren firing down. Oh yeah, that's alright. Smelly Badger pulling in the pit lane. This pit lane, very difficult here. You've got to know what the other driver's up to. Luckily for us, we have a list of it. I could join commentary if he doesn't come. He'll be coming in, I think, 5 minutes, so he should be here. I think his brother was on the PlayStation before him, which, I don't understand why people share PlayStations. Personally, I bought my PlayStation. No one touches it because I am evil. C. Pasley, championship leader in P5, looking to improve his lap time. Doing 3 laps on those soft tyres, super soft tyres, sorry. Maybe he's looking to do another one. There's Blaz MK going slowly. No, sorry, JB Ogan going slowly. Letting drivers through. Who was I on board with for a second there? Was it GA? Yes, GA. GA getting a nice toe off Steve Pasley, heading towards the chicane. Steve Pasley is pitting, And GA carrying on through there, heading towards the World Champions. He caught it very nicely, and he's heading up towards the line now. What can GA get up to? It's a P13 at 111.5. Jerry Ogan has some time at the same time as me. Oh, that's interesting. Has he? Where is he? Oh, you're completely right, Chain Game. You need the experience, T-Jonas. More insults towards T-Jonas. Yeah, I mean, he's only the Season 3 champion of GP2. It's all he cares about. What can Racing Boy get up to? Our Racing Podge, our lovely Swedish driver, been here for almost as long as I have. Part of the woodwork now is Racing Podge, and he's heading down here. I remember when he joined. It's a long time ago. Actually, I think he's been here longer than me. Hitting the wall, hitting the barrier there. Me and Racing Podge used to have some great fun when I used to race here. But being retired as I am, it's a P4 for Racing Podge. Catching it nicely, almost doing a nice Felipe Massa-esque moment there. Heading towards the grass. I'm going to attempt to take a sip of my coffee before someone ever does something interesting. Well, that didn't happen. For Oliver, just skimming a barrier there for a second. Alright. I'm attempting to sip this coffee at the same time, but still it's red hot. A few minutes. If you don't know, I went to see Detective Pikachu the other day. I liked it, but at the same time, it made me think, oh, maybe I'm actually a Pikachu, because I'm obsessed with coffee. Savage, says Daniel. Yes, they all abuse each other, the Norwegians. We love the Norwegians, though. Now, Pro Oliver coming down. Hopefully, the set of representative time is P10 for the Red Bull. We know he has pace in it. He is a podium sitter in SFR now. Vlad MK, what can he do? 3 seconds faster. Powering down. He's going to go a 1. Wow, it's even faster. It's a 1.8 point. He's got 10 seconds faster there. A 1.8.852. That's the number I'm looking for. What a dominance though. But look at that. 8 times on his... He shouldn't really retire on track. But, you know, in qualifying, he's a little relaxed. But he's halved... He's literally knocked 10 seconds off his time. But he's put 4 laps on his ultra soft tyres. That is a commitment to those tyres that might be difficult. So crash a lot, Havler? more savage comments in the chat. You see Oliver, the Red Bull, coming around, being pushed down to P11 into the new tyre zone. Still waiting on that notice to see if Emil has joined us. See whichever car he'll be in. I will just need someone, because sometimes I don't get indications when I'm up here to know. My dad's red. The 72 storming down towards the line. I think we've got 2 72s now. Crossing the line is a P6 per Oliver. Definitely got some pace in it. 4 laps of his tyres. Took him 4 times. Knocking Smelly Badger out of the top 10. What can the McLaren do? He's got 2 minutes left to get around the track. Again, this track. Oh, he's pulled off. He's waiting for the driver to come through. That's Laser Lord and Chain Game. Are they racing or are they playing? They're on out laps right now. They're trying to work out who's going where. What can Chain Game get up to? Last week was Baku, and that race was absolutely mental here in SFR, as it so often is. Laserlord, who is not on the lap time, showing that they could race. What can Ryan Van Doon got up to? He's gone back to the Hypersoft tyres. Laserlord still on his original set of Hypersoft tyres. Laserlord is playing a dangerous game, I think, with his with those Hypersoft tyres that he's got fitted on them. Racing Podge retiring in Sector 3. He's had enough for qualifying in P5. He thinks he's done enough, or he cannot fit a better one. Now heading up toward them. What can Ryan Van Doon get up to? He's on a slow lap. He's going straight. He's going to try and charge up and go for one more run. He is the championship leader in the Wasp car of C. Pasley, heading down towards the second chicane, the long chicane, towards the hairpin. This is where it all went wrong for Marcus Ericsson a few seasons ago, but it went even worse for Robert Kubica, who apparently, as Anders joined us, yes, we can get him into the party now. Do excuse us if the screen goes blue. I will quickly invite him. There we go. So back to this. Obviously, we saw, apparently, right, to all the F1 fans today, if there's any left, to be honest, as Sipazzi runs down towards the line, Nicholas Latifi from Formula 2 is apparently going to be replacing Robert Kubica very soon in Formula 1. But it's all rumours now, as Sipazzi stays in P8 here. I have been joined in the commentary booth by Twan. Hello, mate. Better late than ever.
Hello.
25 seconds left. Can you see qualifying? Are you watching it?
Yeah, I was watching a bit of it at least. So
still very interesting. I've just been spouting off random knowledge. See, I have a co-commentator with me now. I have my Twan. I'll stroke him later. Don't take that out of context. Hello, Twan. How are you doing, my friend? You have got in here.
yeah, I'm good as always. And you?
Well, I have a coffee today. I'm doing a good impression of Detective Pikachu as he's running up and round towards the line now. Okay. Keep the Williams insults down. I do like Williams. Chengen Wow has gone second ahead of his teammate in P3. Teammate could not improve though, Gaming Thing staying in P3. Williams is my local team, so keep it cool. I like Williams. GA crossing line. He's got no deployment left on his ERS though, and he goes P12.
I see Pasley has gone into the wall.
Has he now?
He has.
Well, Pazzi is our new championship leader in SFR GP3. So the Renault may be at risk of being knocked out by the Williams of JB Ogun as he's heading down towards the line. And that's it. JB Ogun is not going to improve. So Pazzi is safe in the top 10. Luke Beck crossing the line, only P9. So our pole sitter tonight will be Blaz MK in the Williams ahead of Chain Game Wow in P2 and Gaming Things in P3. A good showing from the Mercedes pairing. Twan, you're back. I was going to mention something there and I completely forgot what I was going to say. This track, it's Canada, it's Montreal. This track is mental at best or boring at most. What do you think of it?
I like it personally. You have the start is very exciting because of the left-right turns, and then you have the two last straights where you can get a lot of toe to try to overtake. So I'm looking forward to some overtakes and some nice battling now.
Most definitely. I'm going to allow that because I can. So here are the podium results by 1/10 of a second. Blaz K is in P1 ahead of Kane Gamewell in P2. Game of Things in P3, and then Ryan Van Doom in P4. Smelly Badger in P5, Laser Lord in P6, Racing Podge in P7, Pro Oliver in P8, Luke Beck is in P9, Stupassi in P10. Outside of the top 10, and with 3 titles, JB Ogun in P11, GA in P12, Psychobitch in P13, Meat Soldier in P40, Alsa Senegal in P15, Dr. Special Energy in P16. Did it all in less than 30 seconds. I'm proud of that one. That's what I was going to talk about. So I don't know if you've heard, Twan. Yes, you are, Twan. I couldn't remember who you were for a second there. I do apologise. Have you heard that that Rich Energy have lost the copyright battle for the Stag logo they have? So it looks to be that logo will have to be removed from the Haas car.
Oh, I haven't. I thought you were gonna say something about Sanford.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, damn it. I'm in a car.
Well, that's
so
annoying.
I'm just gonna wait for everyone. Just go into the pits and retire.
Yes, that will work. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Completely forgot to mention to hit ready up there. Oops. So, what car are you in?
I'm in a Red Bull, Toro Rosso, sorry.
So Toro Rosso have one driver tonight, and I'll mention them. We have Lee Nell, who'll be doing actually the same. So basically, follow Lee as he's heading down. So I tell you what,
this isn't the first time, is it?
No, it's not. I tell you what, we have a driver's eye view though with you, Anders, on the lap. You can take us through what you need to do for this lap.
Okay. So you have turn 1 and 2. This is turn 2 is really nice. It's made for overtaking opportunities and really close battling. Then you have these two sequences of corners, which is really hard to get right. You can easily get into the walls and stuff, and then you have also these two corners setting you up for a bit of a longer straight, which you will really want to get the best way out of the corner. And then in a while you have a hairpin, which is...
hold on, don't run into the back of someone.
No. I'm really concentrating now, so.
I'll take you into the hairpin. So coming into the hairpin here, if you want to try, you can take multiple lines here. You can dive bomb at the inside, but you don't. It's really frowned upon initially. Heading up towards the DRS straight now, we want to make sure that all the drivers understand that this track is very susceptible because the straight isn't totally straight, so you can end up chopping someone's nose off. I know because I've done it. I've actually got involved in 3 crashes on this straight many times. Obviously, we're heading towards the chicane, the champion chicane as I call it, heading towards the end of the track, that end of the lap. That obviously will prove that all drivers will struggle heading into pit lane, remember to stay within the box. Now, excuse me for a second, I'll have to take you through lights out and everything because I have my commentator in the car because, you know, why wouldn't he want to drive because he forgot that he's not driving tomorrow. So Blazon K on board with him, he'll be taking us through the start of the race. He was 1/10 quicker in qualifying. Now up to 5 red lights here in Montreal. A semi-street circuit is about to become alive. The lights are out. The drivers are away now. It's a good start from Chain Game in P2.
What's Lionel doing?
Lionel is a slow driver. He's not driving it now. Chain Game round the outside. It's clipped. There's contact. 2 cars spinning. Major collision. Both Mercedes are out. Not out even. They've been caught in a collision in sector 1. Both Mercedes. Ryan Van Doom is now our leader. And Blaz MK is being caught in that incident. 3 drivers in 1. And this track already right action. Whoa, pull over. Big move for the Red Bull. He's caught it now. Being hunted down by Racing Podge, who's trying to charge up down the inside. Next to Alfa Romeo 1-2 after lap 1. We've had a Max Verstappen-esque start here from all 3 of them fighting for 1 corner. And there's going to be absolute drama at the end of this race. And now Laserlord hunting down his teammate on the Hypersoft tyres. Laserlord did 5 laps on his tyres. Ryan Van Doom did none. Did I think 1 on his tyres in qualifying. But only 3 hunting down. Drivers moving around. Luke Beck dropping a position to his teammates. Shipasi gaining a couple of positions. And Chain Game, he's got damage, is in P11. That was madness off the line. JB Ogan is in P6. He has improved a lot of positions. Both Alfa Romeos making it through to lap 1. So Ryan Van Doom is our leader ahead of Laserlord in P2. Smelly Badger in P3. Prolove in P4. And we have the Mercedes into pit lane. Ryan Van Doom obviously fastest lap. Steve is in P7. JB Ogan is in P6. Luke Beck is in P8.
Oh shit.
PA P9. Pardon his French. What's Anders getting up to? We'll do one more
I
lap.
was trying to go into the pits, but I hit the options
okay.
button too early, so I'm going for another lap, I guess.
Another lap with for our friend Twan, as he's just make sure you don't get in the way of the drivers who are charging up on the next lap. I think Lionel is doing is still going as well. A couple of drivers are charging now. Here's Steve Pasley on board with him. He's on down JB Ogan. He's trying his hardest to get past JB Ogan, who obviously is on fresh tyres after something outside of a top 10. Steve Pasley going down the inside of the hairpin. That's an aggressive move. He has bumped the Norwegian driver. And there you see Luke Beck trying to capitalise, and he's actually Steve Pasley letting him through. And at that point, he's under attack from Luke Beck. Luke Beck charging alongside, squeezing him towards the wall. No DRS active yet. And he passes the Renault in a straight line because of that Mercedes power. And the Renault just dipping out behind him, trying to work out where he can move. And Ryan Van Doom, the fastest man on track, by a 1:12.6. Getting the run is Steve Pasley, heading towards the turn 1. Son Senegal has had a big fishtail moment in the background, as I don't know how to say his own name. And he's managed to catch that car, lead out into pit lane, and he has retired. That's 1. Now we just need to get rid of the other one, Twan.
There you go.
And Twan has joined us in commentary. He'll be in a second, and Steve Pasley charging down now, trying to get past Luke Beck, and that means I can actually take some more coffee. No, we have Sakovic is out of the section. Big accident there. Will that be a safety car? No. Too early for a safety car. As Chain Game comes through, it seems he must have got a big fishtail moment. And Smelly Badger charging down after Laserlord for P2. Alson Senegal, damn it, wrong one. See Pasley looking to pass him now as we have a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's just one. I think it's both of them. Twan, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at C. Pasley and not Luke Beck.
Are you sure?
Or I was, at least.
Are you sure it's not Luke Beck?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Puns!
Probably.
Puns have begun. You ain't trying to do the half puns. I've only got one to take the mick out of this time. So, big breakaway there for the top 3. Smelly Badger stayed with them. He's in the best position on the harder compound tyres versus these two. Here's the question though, Twan. Apparently rain is meant to be coming later on in the race, 45 minutes in. How does that shape up your idea for the strategy in this race?
Okay, which it is the ultra, supers, and softs, right?
Hypers.
Hypers.
Softs, yeah.
Okay.
So super softs are our hardest compounded tires.
Okay, so I know. I'd say ultras to supers.
Abandoning the track. Sorry to interrupt you. He's had to abandon the track, and Racing Forge getting the better run, passing him because Pro Oliver just could not make the move stick. JB Hogan down the inside, running to the back of the Ferrari. Williams punching a Ferrari, and this time the Ferrari stays in a straight line, and the Williams still stayed behind him. Very lucky not to make that Ferrari spin. If Vettel had been driving, he would have.
So I'd say either ultra intermediates or ultra supers and intermediates.
What a brilliant move there from JB Hogan, passing for P4 there. He's definitely got the pace today. And Luke Beck coming round and down the inside of Pro Oliver, who's struggling on this track, on his ultra soft tyres. He's definitely done some damage to those tyres as he runs out the championship leader, just a little bit wide of the championship leader, flirting with the barriers as they pass the Masters corner. Chain game again, fastest. He's looking fast this week. He wants to get through. Now coming towards Racing Pod. He's not giving it up. He wants to get past the Norwegian, the Swedish driver, down the inside of the chicane. There's almost contact. I can't see if there was.
Oh, not Luke Beck.
Luke Beck.
He takes the best of it. He takes a double overtake now.
Well, he's under pressure. We've seen JB Hogan on the brakes here. He's very, very good on the brakes. He's hit the grass, and they're going to allow Racing Force to get close. Again, contact between the Williams and the Mercedes, the Mercedes Williams, and they're getting very close together. And now you see in the background Racing Force having to bottle up a little bit as Luke Beck gets passed by JB Hogan. JB Hogan is so quick on the straights here in Canada. As you see, almost going 3 wide onto towards the chicane, and that's Sipazzi going around the outside at the champions chicane. Sorry. Passing Oliver, sorry, I completely can't speak today, just going to put the teeth back in. Oliver down the inside, cannot make it stick though on the Renault. Ryan Van Doo is our first driver to get a time penalty in this race. These drivers are they're not holding back tonight, aren't they?
No, you already have a lot of good racing. I'd like to see that. You see a massive train forming from P4 all the way down to P12 now.
On board with Luke Beck because he's P10. Trying to get close to JB Hogan. He taps him a little bit, and JB Hogan is going to be thinking, good grief, he's moving a lot. Oh, that's probably what Luke Beck's thinking. He's had a little bit of a moment though, and now Sipazzi has a charge trying to pass the Ferrari. 3 engine manufacturers in this one picture, and it's contact. Luke Beck losing a part of front wing. Racing Force trying to hold it around the outside, as now we're all going to have DRS on JB Hogan. DRS opening. Take us through it.
Racing Pods and Sipazzi going side by side now.
Sipazzi very bails in the pit lane. He had to bail because he had no room to go around anywhere.
And who's that?
Luke Beck. Luke Beck spinning.
GA. I think no.
No, it's Luke Beck.
Luke Beck was it?
And he's pulling back in the pit lane. There was contact there. He's lucky he gets in. Is that the end of his race? GA actually getting involved in it. He's slowing Sipazzi down quite rapidly. I don't know what's happened there. I won't suggest anything. That just looks very odd to me. And then GA cutting a corner as Pazzi tries to get around the outside. Championship leader really struggling this race here in Montreal.
All of this has made that J Bogan and Racing Podge have gotten quite a bit of a gap to the rest of the drivers. I think that will be really important for them later on in the race.
Truly will do. Luke Beck dropping on a P14 after possible collision there. We didn't see it on stream, so I can't make a comment. We're going to go on board with Racing Pods, but we saw in all of that picture Pro Oliver dropping down positions. He's starting to struggle. He's fighting with Dr. Special Energy now.
And Ryan Van Doom is into the pits.
Ooh, that's early because of the Hypersoft tyres.
Yeah, I think at this point of the race, I think J Bogan has the best tires at least, or is Smelly Badger on the ultras? Yeah, he
Smelly
is.
Badger is on the ultra soft tires, but remember, JB Ogun will be going as far in as he can on those soft tires, super soft tires. Sorry, still got the 2019 compounds in my head right now. Do apologise if I get things wrong. Here's outside centre.
Does J Bogan have the super softs on?
Whoa! Meteor Soldier had a big moment there as he tries to defend from Ryan Van Doom. Big oversteer moment. He caught the car well. I don't think there was any damage on the Ferrari. Sorry to not answer your question. As Ryan Van Doom now clips the wall. The track here is so tight. It's more like a Formula E circuit than a Formula 1 circuit. Actually, Formula E is much tighter, but you know. It takes a lot to say that the widest Formula E circuit is actually going to be Monaco. How mad's that? Racing Podge.
That's crazy.
On the back of JB Ogun, almost there. Ryan Van Doom trying to go around the outside of Meteor Soldier. These two battling for the entirety of a lap as they head towards the DRS straight. Yes, JB Ogun is on the super soft tyres. I finally got there. I finally got to answer the question. I do apologise. Meteor Soldier dropping down behind our favourite supervillain, Ryan Van Doom, just giving up the position as he starts to head around the Northern Irishman, trying to defend. And once again, I think Racing Porch is quicker in the corners than JB Ogun, but JB Ogun's got that brilliant setup for the straights where he just flies past his astronomical past the Meteor Soldier. Remember, Meteor Soldier possibly having damage on the front of his car. I cannot remember if it's him or Racing Porch with the damage. I think it's Racing Porch actually.
Yeah, so Lazy Lord still goes on with his hypersofts.
So we'll see if we can get a shot of those.
So he'll be struggling in a while. You see, Smelly Badger has already catched up to him.
I think he'll be pitting this lap. I think we'll see the Alfa Romeo pull into pit lane this lap as the McLaren starts to trail him. This McLaren, well, not this McLaren, this driver won in GP3 in Hockenheim. What will Laser Lord get up to? Nice little fellow man of culture here in the league as he heads towards possibly towards pit lane. Yeah, that looks to be destined for pit lane. No, it's not. He's going straight around for another tour of this circuit, and this time he's going to be under pressure from the ultra soft ridden Smelly Badger in the McLaren, but that Renault engine not giving him much punch off the corner.
Racing Podge missing the second to last corner and the last corner, so he loses a lot of time. Over
was that
half
because
a second.
He was too close to the car in front? As outside gets the penalty.
He wasn't that close, but there may be dirty air involved.
See what we can see on the chat. Not much chat now in the stream as everyone gets ready. Laser Lord has dropped a position to the Smelly Badger, and I think that's just down to his tyres having next to no grip. They're almost as bold as my granddad at this point. So outside into pit lane, he has a penalty to contest with now. A 5-second stop and go penalty, which will possibly be used if we do reach the wet weather tyres. It is starting to get a little bit dark here in Montreal though. 10 laps in.
So J Bogan has just catched way over a second already on Lazy Lord, just on the last half a lap or something. No, 1.5 seconds in the last lap. You see the time delta is going way down now.
Alfa Romeo very slowly.
So Lazy Lord's tyres should be gone.
Yeah, they're knackered. Here comes Smelly Badger with DRS open. He's got a better run. Sorry, it's a Racing Podge. Yeah, do excuse me getting my cars mixed up. He goes a little bump there as JB Ogun, the inexperienced driver, giving our Swedish boy a little bit of a touch. So our racing boy is having a good little race with the other gentleman in the race. See, I know one word in Swedish. The Racing Podge, the Podge at the end of Racing Podge means boy in Swedish.
Podge.
Yeah.
It means
boy.
What does it mean?
Boy, as in like young man in Swedish.
Poja, yeah.
Yeah. I learned that from C. Jonas. Thank you for giving me a Swedish lesson.
It's almost like boy.
Yeah.
Poi.
I still call him Podge because I think that's just a cool way to call it. Because I think when I was racing, I used to call him Porridge. I don't know why, but I used to call him Porridge. Because he wouldn't. So it seems that the train still formed here in Montreal. A Smelly Badger pulls into pit lane, not one lap after Lazy Lord has. Dr. Special Energy making a move on GA, squeezed to the wall there from the racing point, and the Haas is going to be very angry. He hassled him over to the wall. You're welcome for that one. That's a new one I haven't done for a while. As he comes towards turn 1, he's battling the Scotsman hard. What can Jordan get up to in that car?
I was about to say what girls mean in Sweden, but I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm just gonna shut up, I think.
Well, we don't have a female driver in SFR. We've had a few female drivers in SFR, to be honest. So I'd like more female drivers to get into league racing personally. I'd love commentating over girls because they're so aggressive on track. Not that men aren't either. Men are just as aggressive, but I do love having women in the cars. Ryan Van Doom attacking the Haas now as he heading towards the hairpin, side by side into the hairpin, and the Special Energy just gives up the position, but running up on the curb, trying to get a better run. He hasn't got it. Ryan Van Doom, who has pitted.
So I want to give you the attention to the three-way scrap in the top 3.
We're just about to have a look at that one as well. So Swedish versus British versus Norwegian is the line. If you can work out who's who, I'll give you a cookie.
Oh, I know it. Jebogen is the Norwegian and Racing Podge is the Swedish, and C. Pashley is from the UK.
I am wrong there because I remember he's Irish, so he's not from the UK. he's from Ireland.
Come on!
GA, he's up in that position. That's on me. Ryan Van Doom passing a position on GA. GA again, quick on the straight. No, I think he's from Ireland, so not Northern Ireland. I think he's from portion of Ireland, which is actually independent from the UK. More politics from the 1980s there from JB.
Is it?
Go on.
What is the difference? Because you have the UK. And then you have Great Britain, and they're a part of Great Britain, aren't they?
Great Britain is
that the two islands, right?
Well, Great Britain is England, Wales, and Ireland and Scotland. The UK is England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. C-Passy, I think that's right. Don't quote me on that. C-Passy coming around the outside of Racing Paws. The Swedish driver cannot battle against the Irishman for much longer. And the Irishman swinging around the outside as he takes too much curb for the Ferrari. And the Ferrari just dropping down in P3. This battle heating up. Look at behind them, though. Do excuse me. Chain Game, who got spat out of turn 1 on the ultra-soft tyres. He's fought back to P6. He's not giving this up yet. He wants to go for the race win if he can. He has the advantage of the rain coming. So this spin might not have affected him too much. But unfortunately, Gaming Things has suffered heavily at the hands of that spin in turn 1.
And I see now Sarkimic out. Yeah,
Sarkimic crashed out earlier on in the race. We caught it as he was just coming through towards where Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley made collision last season in Formula 1.
Was that at the same time I was driving, or?
No, it was I think it was in a transition period when you were coming from driving to coming into pit lane.
Okay, yeah.
Would you excuse the call?
So Same Game is right on the back of GA now.
He truly is. The Scotsman got to put up a defence now against Robin.
Smell a Badger taking on Pro Oliver, and
he won.
He
won by quite a margin.
He won, yeah.
Now the Mercedes looking to pass the Racing Point sooner rather than later, but he can't make a move yet. It seems that GA moved a little bit there. I won't accuse him of moving in the braking zone because I don't think he did, but Racing Point's being dropped. Maybe his tyres are starting to give up as Steve Pasley now takes the charge towards the Norwegian driver in P1.
Yeah, so I think trying on a pass in the second to last and the last corner, you can do it, but you lose way too much time, I think. Myself, so
another penalty. I never successfully made overtakes here in Canada. It is raining! The rain has come in Canada. I was just on board of a car as it clipped in. Now Ryan Van Doom hunting down Racing Podge. He's having a bit of trouble with the rain now coming. It's falling quickly here in Canada. Wow, it's gone from no rain to actually rain in the air. This could get interesting. Down the inside comes Ryan Van Doom at the hairpin. He can't get the gap in, no, and Racing Podge has to give up the position. Blasem K passing Dr. Special Energy. See Pasley now looking to make a move for the lead, but JB Hogan staying there. Ryan Van Doom trying to come up and pass the Ferrari. The parent company giving up a position to the Baby B team. And into pit lane comes JB Hogan as he pitted at the wrong time.
Clipping the... He now has a 6-second time penalty on his name.
round the outside of Racing Pod. The question I have though, couple of drivers, Chain Game and Joe Bioga into pit lane early for intermediate tyres. That really is too early. The track can't be that wet already. We're looking on board with GA now. There is no water droplets on the car, so it shows that it has not settled on track yet. That could be really damaging to both their races.
Yeah, I think that's too bad, because I think Jay Bogan could have stayed out for quite a while longer, I think.
I think he must have panicked there. He must have pulled the ultra battery Bottas call there, calling his team going, I want the intermediates now, when it's too early.
Jay Bogan is spinning.
Yeah.
And Chain Game now takes him. Yeah.
Well, Chain Game is actually on the super soft tyres, do excuse me. And Jay Biogan, I think, has just, unless it rains heavily in the next couple of laps, I don't think that this strategy is ever going to play out. He's gone way too early, and unfortunately inexperience has caught him out this time round.
Yeah, just wait, I mean, I'll just...
That's alright.
Be silenced for a minute.
Dr. Special Energy. Now, as Racing Pod bails in the pit lane, what does the Ferrari do? As you go on board with sector 3, gets to Special Energy, and Spenny Badger are out of the race. They got caught in a big crash at the Water Champions. That's 2 drivers out, a winner and an admin out of the race. And Blaz MK into the barrier. It is wet. Maybe it is time for the intermediate tyres. Maybe JB Ogan called it perfectly. That massive collision, how was that not called a safety car? 2 drivers out of the race and drivers spinning everywhere. I think I stand corrected. JB Ogan may have called this absolutely brilliantly. I tell you what, you need to disappear more often, because as you disappear, there's a massive collision.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not kidding.
You can't do that to me.
I'm not kidding. Look, Dr. Special Energy and Spenny Badger have been caught out.
I see it. Oh, come on.
There's a spinning Mercedes in the background. That's Gamey Things. Gamey Things trying to catch a car. He's reversed into Racing Punch. A Racing Punch into the barrier. Gamey Things. He has been given a 5 seconds off of a go penalty for a severe collision with Racing Punch, and that is a very, very fair penalty in my eyes. He did not wait, and Jordan is already in chat saying not again. GA into pit lane, and Racing Punch, who was just pitted, GA getting a penalty, is going to be furious with the Mercedes. Aston Senegal has rejoined us, so he must have lagged out there. Chain Game going on for another lap there. Maybe he got the notice that his teammate was involved in the collision, but he's on the soft tyres. He's looking now, he's trying to shadow what Meteor Soldier's up to, and the top 3 continuing on. Clearly thinking it's not wet enough yet. We must be right over in the transition period right now, and they cannot decide what tyres to be on. Chain Game passing Meteor Soldier, getting it well as Meteor Soldier struggles on traction. Twan, what are you looking at? I need to drink a coffee.
I'm looking at GA and looking how he's doing. So he's now catching up to Meteor Soldier, and he's on the super softs. He actually tries to take a move on him. So I think it's not long before the intermediate tires will be good enough. Judging
by that rear end there, I think it is. I think it's time we saw them. Aston Senegal, he's not back in his car yet. Sector 3, we have a flashing yellow light. I'm not sure what that means. We have no virtual safety car. The cars are just struggling here. Let's have a look. Is it the top 3? It doesn't look like. We might have a permanent yellow flag. Yeah, it looks like we have a permanent yellow flag on the pit straight.
Who spun? Same game, Woo has spun.
Whoa, there's a spinner in sector 3. Thank you. This is why I always need a co-commentator. Ryan Van Doom is passing into pit lane. Ryan Van Doom electing not, Laserlord electing not to double stack with his teammate. Sector 2's yellow flag.
So Jay Bogan now taking, overtaking, not look back. So it's definitely about time to come into for the interest now.
Gamey Things has left the session. He's spat out in sector 2 and he has left the session. So I'm not sure if that was in anger he's left the session or he's lagged out of the session. Laserlord though, he's going to be in trouble. C-Pass, he's still our net race leader in P1. JB Ogan, he's got to pass a couple more cars if he wants to get on that podium. Actually, it is possible, more car if he wants to get on the podium, doesn't he?
The thing I can't get a grip of is why people go so early on the intermediates, because on this game...
Battle out of pit lane, sorry to interrupt you, battle out of pit lane, and Pro Oliver getting through. Meteor Soldier's been slowed down by Pro Oliver, and Shane Gang Woo passing past him. It's not letting Alex come back in his car, apparently. Ooh, I don't know how to help with that one. Sector 3, effect. Racing Point out of the session in P12. He's going to be frustrated after that collision with Gaming Things. And I cannot... I normally censor my words, but I have to say that was entirely Gaming Things' fault. Sorry, Twan, go on.
So, you know how the DRS getting disabled is normally when you have to go into intermediates? It still hasn't happened yet, so I have no idea why people go so early on the intermediates.
Who was on the dry compounded tyres, on the slick tyres, just lit up the tyres and slid into the barrier there. I don't think there is DRS active. I think we might not have just got the message though. He's continuing on.
I think it's disabled now. It has to be because
it can't be
intermediate time. So
surely it can't be this bad.
Yeah, when it's intermediate time, the DRS gets disabled. So
I stand corrected. Carl Oliver is not on the soft tyre, or the super soft tyre. Sorry, he's on the He's on the intermediate tyres. I just didn't look at the tower. JV Ogan has to pass Laserlord, who actually has to get got into the pits and out of the pits before him. So he's still got a lot to do if he wants to get on the podium tonight in Canada.
So now everyone having intermediate tyres. So
yes, and the race is gonna simmer down a little bit as drivers now all on a level playing field on the same compound tyres are gonna struggle.
How many laps do you think the intermediates will go?
Well, I'm questioning whether we're heading towards extreme wets, towards the blue tyres soon. Oliver Crane crossed over. He has a damaged front wing as he tries to carry on past Luke Beck. At this point, all drivers will have turned down their differential on their multifunction board. If they don't know, turn that down. That shows that you will have a little bit more rear end grip in the wet. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've never done that. I should
well, you're
probably.
A nut, mate. Well, you're on a wheel anyway. You can catch it easy on a controller. You just can't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not experienced enough to do such things, so I'll still have to learn that.
Our race leader is Steve Pasley in the Renault, ahead of Ryan Van Doom in P2. GA is in P3, Laserlord is in P4, and J. Bugan heads Williams' charge in P5. In P6 is Blaz MK, P7 is Chain Game Wow, P8 is Meteor Soldier, P9 is Luke Beck, P10 is Pro Oliver. Outside of the points who are not continuing on in this race, Al Sergel, who has left the session, that goes to car will not be would be removed, and Gamey Things, who left the session. I'd like to say he lagged out, but by the sounds of it, I haven't seen anything about any notification saying that he said that he was lagged out. I think that's down to him getting annoyed and had enough of the race, which you shouldn't do. Alson has rejoined the session, so he might actually get to drive. Smelly Badger has messaged me saying something's annoying. I'm going to actually message him back. How unprofessional I am on stream, I'm going to message him. Let's find out what's happening here as we head towards lap 22 for these drivers. This is an enthralling race already, and now the wet weather is going to be a bit of a problem. Ooh, take us through it.
Alson, if you go to the spectator menu and you to driver select and you do on your own car, there should be
control.
Yeah, it should say take control if you go to your own car.
GA trying to come under pressure from Laserlord. Laserlord getting a time penalty in all of this as he's heading towards the hairpin. This track is treacherous in the dry, with being quite a low grip surface on this game, and yet in the wet it's just as bad. If anything, it's worse as he's heading down towards the chicane. Laserlord gotta catch that car well. He's actually got it lined up on the inside. GA taking the wrong line. Laserlord spinning up his rear tyres though, and he cannot get on the podium to join his teammate. Laserlord was joined in the 3-car collision at turn 1 between Gaming Things, Chain Game, and himself. And I cannot, for the life of me, remember whose fault it was. I remember them coming in, but that's all I can do. And a better run there. GA goes deep at the Wall of Champions, and he drops down a position. Alsan leaving the session. Did not T Jones? That's the Trexter just mentioning something to T Jones as GA drops down now. So Alfa Romeo back on the podium now with 2 cars. and see Pasley running away with it in the wet. He likes the wet. He's Irish, so, you know, he's used to it. Not as well as the Scotsman, though, in P4. They're more used to the snow.
Oh, you're calling a whole country useless?
No, I'm not saying that they're useless. I'm not as used to the rain, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I said it
There's
rather
a
fast.
giant
okay.
difference there, yeah.
I said it too fast for it. I say it too fast for English people, mate, so I can't imagine what it's like for you. You should listen to horse
like
racing,
rapping,
that's where I get this from. Yeah.
You're like rapping, just...
Yeah, sometimes I do. I end up just like... if I had a rhythm behind it, you probably could rap to some of the things I say.
Yeah.
Okay. Little bit of sunlight there. I wonder, there seemed to be a little bit of a net connection there as JB Ogan powers his way out the corner. Who's faster on the straight though, JB Ogan or Blaz MK? It looks to be Blaz MK right now. Williams, no orders given to their cars. Croatian driver coming up and down the inside of the Norwegian. The Norwegian's gonna just have to hold his line and pray that he doesn't hit him and his teammate. Luckily makes it through the inside, and I think that's the better option there. JB Ogan's pace seems to have completely disappeared in this wet period.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's doing now. He was catching up to Laserlord, so he was within a second of Laserlord, and then his times just dropped for some reason. The
rain seems to be relaxing a little bit here in Montreal with 12 laps to go of this Grand Prix, and C. Pasley getting a time penalty. If you could do me a favour, mate, and just count up how many penalties C. Pasley has under his belt. I think Ryan Van Doom's only got 2 or 3.
Alright, C. Pasley?
Yep, C. Pasley in the Renault.
Alright.
So the race becoming a little bit static now in the rain period, but that's to be expected as these rain starts to struggle, as drivers start to struggle on the intermediate tyres. Remember, the wear on these tyres ebbs and flows. They can get really good for a bit, then absolutely horrible to drive, then they'll be really good again as they head towards the well-worn side of the grid. And Luke Beck in P9 looking to pass Meteor Soldier sooner rather than later for the Racing Point team. The Ferrari struggling, one car out, and one car is in P8, sorry, completely forgot how to speak for a second.
You said C. Pasley, right?
Yes, C. Pasley.
Okay, 3, 6, at least.
Only 6? Do you think only 6?
I'm looking down now, so...
Okay. Luke Beck hunting down...
9 seconds.
9 seconds, but he has a 10-second gap to Ryan Van Doom, who has penalties himself, as Blaz MK on the charge now.
He has at least
looking...
6, Ryan.
Okay, and Blaz MK now looking to pass GA sooner as well on the same lap all times. Big moment though for Blaz MK, he's caught the car well for the Croatian. I really hope he's Croatian as he comes up towards the Racing Point. The Scotsman, look at that, the dirt, yeah, completely slapping the Williams. To be honest, they haven't got any error on that car, so it really shouldn't affect them. Another insult there. GA with a time penalty, and Blaz MK fighting that Williams as they're heading towards the hairpin. Is Blaz MK going to try it down the inside? He is going to chuck it up the inside. The 99 passing the, I don't know what number GA is, 896, sorry. But GA could not get the traction down around the outside. He was momentarily back ahead, and Blaz MK firing himself past him. Now on board with the other Racing Point as he comes up to draw alongside Meteor Soldier. Meteor Soldier letting him through because he has no grip on his tyres. Into the hairpin, Meteor Soldier struggling in the wet portion of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, so Ryan having 6 seconds.
So Ryan Van Doom has 3 seconds less than Pasley with penalty-wise, but at the same time Pasley has a larger gap to him. So I think the Irishman is safe right now as Ryan starts to struggle in these conditions. He's pushing hard though for the 99. Lots of 99s in this class. I mean, personally, if I was driving in this class, would you, or if you were driving as well, Span, would you ever edit your number so you would stand out differently to other people who might run the same number to you?
Oh, I have no idea actually about that. I haven't even thought about it. I'm just taking my numbers. I would have done like 3 or 33 because I like the number 3, but well, you know,
last year is out of the session, and there's a big moment. Meteor Soldier out as well. 2 cars in the gravel. Sorry, on the edge of a track. A Racing Point and the Ferrari out of this race. And that means only 8 finishers here. We're going to be just like at Baku last race. Pro Oliver looking to score points, even though he's struggling in this race. Remember, Gaming Things and Alpha Senegal will not score points due to the fact that they have not completed 90% of the race distance. I just saw yellow flags for a second, then I saw 2 cars ploughing into the barrier. Maybe that was a collision between them. JB Ogan into pit lane. Are we going to see extreme wet tyres be put on this car?
I think.
No, they're not. It's another set of intermediates.
He may go in for inters, yeah.
Another set of inters. Well, those inters could really go longer. So has he just? Well, I don't know what to think anymore.
I think he overshot his tires on the start because it wasn't wet yet,
right.
And that may have been a real problem for him to get his tires into the right temperature.
Jamie Ogan, unfortunately, by the looks of it, will not be making it to the podium tonight. But SMK has some penalties, but he's charging, looking to try and pass. Looking very wet into Sector 2 now. We might be seeing those extreme wet tyres be put into play. I'm really hoping on it because I love the extreme wet tyres. They're so fun to drive on. As SMK starts to hunt down Laserlord as best he can. Laserlord, who wants to hunt down his teammate. There'll definitely be one Alfa Romeo as C. Pazzi gets a stop and go penalty. Oh, that's just got interesting. So that will get converted into a 10-second penalty. C. Pazzi is now no longer safe within winning this Grand Prix. He might be now.
Okay, so Ryan Van Doom getting his third 3-second time penalty. So now C. Pazzi and Ryan are just on the same. So C. Pazzi getting stuck behind Gaming Things. I think he has a AI.
Gaming Things is not racing anymore. He left the race midway through. Same with Alson Senegal. I think Alson was down to lag, and I think Gaby was down to rage quitting. Obviously, that will be spoken to later on. I think that we might be seeing the blue tyres be brought out soon because drivers are starting to struggle on the intermediate tyres, if you ask me. But with all of that, I've just been reminded, thank you to Jonas who just reminded me, JB Ogun actually doesn't have any points in this season yet. He's struggled throughout the first couple of races. And now he's into round 9. He's battled for the podium. At one point he led the race for a minor portion. He's really turning into a major talent in SFR, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a team with him, so I've seen. I've been looking at him, and it's really getting better and better every single race. So. I think he has only been racing for 1 month.
Yeah, that's what he said to me. I had a minor little interview with him.
He will just get every single race. He will just get instantly better. So I think his times now in the wets is probably due to inexperience in setups and such for the rain. So. If he just gets a few more races in, I guess he'll be really quick in the wets as well.
Most definitely. I mean, I had a minor little interview with him, and to get the game to immediately come into a league racing setting is very difficult. But that's what GP3 was built for. It was built to help drivers come in and learn more about racing. And he has done incredible this season. I've been really impressed with him since he came in. Obviously, I was a little bit jealous because he had another JV on his name. But he's come in and he's doing absolutely fantastic. And I am proud of him. I had a minor little interview. I call it an interview. I was racing with him earlier on in the week. And that was, well, he was driving. I was crashing because I'm a commentator. I don't know how to drive one of these cars. Ryan Van Doom under pressure now from his teammate. But I know it sounds like we're fanboying over JP Ogun, and we are just a little bit. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, come on. That's allowed, right?
Yeah, just a bit. Chain game now. He's going to start to slow down GA, because GA's going to battle him hard, and that might just give JB a chance. But JB is 13 seconds back. I doubt that we'll be seeing him back in the fray later on. But still, points nonetheless. Chain game firing around the outside of the racing point. That shows that the Mercedes is just a little bit better in the wet. Braking hard. There's no brake marker boards left in this race. Have to reinstall them for the GP2 race tomorrow night. As Oliver into pit lane once more, maybe with a damaged front wing. Laserlord once more on the back of Ryan Van Doom. Passing Gaming Things disconnected car.
Oh, Oliver into the pits for full wets.
Now, we often see Oliver take a chance right at the end of the stint to go for the wets. He's in last position, on the road. Anyway, he's going to get the points. So you might as well just take the risk, you know?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clever of him. I think
he's got a lot of traction.
He doesn't have that much to lose, actually, so...
he's looking all right, to be honest, right now. I think he might have made the right tyre choice.
Yeah, for the guys...
Ryan Van Doom, he's gone wide. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. I know you're going to hold that thought, because Ryan Van Doom has gone wide. Then Nathan Lord flaking his car as he hits a load of still water. And he just got to do a sector 3 yellow flags. Who is that? I don't know who that was. I couldn't see any times dropping. I think it's further back. It might be GA. No. It's Ryan Van Doom. Ryan Van Doom in. Is that his podium gone? The Mercedes coming into the chain game.
Is he gonna set on full wets?
Full wets.
You think?
No intermediates. He's burned his tyres out. The tyres won't make it. Some drivers pitting. Gamey Things into pit lane as well. Oh, Chain Game does not pit. It's Gamey Things' AI that pits. I do apologise. But now Baz MK onto the podium. Has Ryan Van Doom lost all chance of a podium tonight in SFR? Last 5 laps of racing here in Montreal, and the drivers are struggling heavily as it's raining, it's pouring. No mole man is snoring because this race is absolutely entertaining. You can thank me for that, Ryan, later. So
the AI at least thinks that it's still intermediates as Alson Senegal's AI goes into the pits.
I think Ryan Van Doom had to make a mistake. I think he had to pit or he was threatening with a puncher, and that has cost him a podium tonight. I want to say that. So
Alson Senegal and Gamey Things will not get points, isn't that right?
They will not get points on this race due to the fact that they have left the race. Obviously, they won't be completing the race distance, firstly, but also if they had left the race for other reasons and all that, they're still not going to get the points anyway. That's just the bottom line of it. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it because they're not going to do it. Ryan Van Doom, unfortunately, this track's treacherous right now. There is a wet line, but I don't know if anyone's going to be using it. They're using all the karting lines here as they're heading towards it. Look at how slow GA's going through the corners. He's got no grip on his 13-lap old tyres.
Oh, so Pro Oliver going...
He's unlapped himself.
Oh no, that's
Ooh. Yeah, he has. He's unlapped himself now.
From GA, isn't it?
Yeah. What happened to Patrick's knees?
And he's on wets. He's on full wets.
Yeah, I think it's time for full wets. Look at Gamey Things.
And Gamey Things, yeah, so the AI thinks it's time to go into the wets. Full wets, so...
See, Pasley, I don't think he had any issues. I think it's just down to the full wets now. It's very much needed on these cars. I wonder if any car is going to bail into pit lane and go for a risky strategy and hope for possibly a late charge of strategy change. Who did I hit?
So,
Racing Pod.
I have something interesting for you. If I'm right, Lazy Lord will get first place due to time penalties at this stage. If I'm not wrong.
See, Pasley has got 19 seconds of penalties if he does not serve this stop and go penalty. 19. Because of the stop and go penalty getting converted to a 10-second penalty, I believe it does if he doesn't serve it. So it's weird. It's a situation which I don't like being in because I don't like calling it. So I normally wait for that towards the end of the race because I can't remember if it always converts or if it converts in certain situations. But I think that is going to be our top 3 at some situation. We might see Chain Game on the podium instead of Steve Pasley.
So does it convert to 10-second time penalty? I thought it just went from 5-second stop go to a normal 5-second.
I'm not sure, to be completely honest. We will sort this out.
That was what I thought, at least. Oh, Pro Oliver going into the wall, so he's struggling for a grip on the wets.
Oh, yeah, on the wet tyres, maybe he's burnt it out a little bit too early. But you see...
Yeah, I think his tyres are probably a bit overheated because he went a bit early. The same thing as Jay Bogan did earlier.
It's funny, we just switched on to him. He's looking very racy in the last couple of laps of the race. But now, breaking under a second is Blazon K. He's still in a chance to win this race. He's hunting down, trying to pass Laserlord as best they can. The times are rising as we're heading towards the 33rd lap of this race. What can BlazMK do? He's losing the rear end just a little bit. He's caught it though, and he's battling hard, heading towards the line. He's still dropped down the positions. Laserlord's so quick on the straights.
Yeah, and Laserlord also having 2 laps fresher tires than BlazMK.
I think JB Ogun's setups come back into his own. Look, he's so quick at the straights. He just halved that. He was 1.5 at the start of the race. Now he's 1.2 at the start of the straight. Now he's 1.2. Now 1.0 under a second. Good grief!
You need to remember that he has 9 laps newer intermediates.
Yeah, that might help, to be completely honest. But also
9 laps.
The
That's
Grand Prix.
A giant gap.
Penultimate lap of the Grand Prix now, and C. Pasley is going to win the race on the roads. He's coming down towards the final real corner. It's a chicane. The chicane next to where he gets up behind his teammate's Ghost. The Ghost of Renault's past as he comes up. He will not want to take any risks as I turn into a 12-year-old boy. Do excuse me. So C. Pasley looking to win this race on the road. Championship leader looking to increase his points to BlazMK. His title rival is in P3. And the Irishman coming around to start the 35th lap, the final lap of the Grand Prix, as JB Ogun right on the back of GA, heading towards the hairpin. Is he going to make the move? There's contact. GA just kissing him a little bit. He gets
squeezed.
He got squeezed towards the grass. I think there's more aquaplane than anything. And then JB Ogun squeezing him back as he heads towards the straights. And look at that traction. No traction for either driver. Then suddenly a load of traction for the Williams as he charges up towards the chicane. He's got a better run, and JB Ogun into 6th place. He's still on chance. He still has a chance at a possible top 5 finish if Ryan Landu got any more penalties.
So BlazMK right on the back of Laserlord now.
He is.
If Laserlord makes any mistakes, I think BlazMK still can get him.
I think BlazMK is starting to make a little bit more mistakes. His tyres starting to feel a little bit of second hand. We'll go on board with Steve Pasley. He's heading up towards the final chicane. Towards the hairpin. There's the crowd, a very wet Canadian crowd, as they're heading up towards the line now. Steve Pasley hasn't put a foot wrong this race. And now he's just going to hope and pray that he finishes on the podium with the penalties he has. I think he might be close. I'm not sure. Steve Pasley breaking into the
It is really close to the
chicane.
9-second mark, at least.
He is not going to win this race, I don't think. Crossing the line now.
He's over 9 seconds now.
He's waving. He wins on the road. What can Laserlord do? Laserlord's had a big moment. Another 5-second penalty for another stop and go. Laserlord crossing the line in a minute. Side by side, though.
BlazMK has him.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, BlazMK coming back.
Steve Pasley's won the race.
Yeah, and
BlazMK
having massive penalties now.
Ryan Van Doon 5th. JB Ogun is looking to finish 6th in his first points finish here at Canada. He had the pace for a podium. Unfortunately, though, it didn't come to pass. It's P6, his first points of the season. GA 7th. But C. Pasley, remarkably, has won this race. How did that happen? I think I've broken my voice. Oh, someone's kicked off already. So there's the podium chat. The podium now. See Pasley in P1 ahead of Laserlord in P2. And with not BlazMK, Chain Game in P3. He'll be happy. But that's driver heading there. Driver struggling.
So,
go on.
Jebogan will be driving for TNR the 14th of June in Canada, so
yeah, this will really help him.
Looking really promising for him.
So here are the points barring. Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen with his penalty because he said he has 14 seconds. That might be looked at.
And also, Jebogan, the only one not to get penalties.
That's brilliant for him. Let's run through who we have though. C Pasley in P1 ahead of Laserlord in P2. Chain Game, sorry, in P3. BlazMK with 15 seconds worth of penalties dropping down to P4. And Ryan Van Doom in P5. JB Ogan in P6, not further foot wrong. P7 was GA. P8 was Pro Oliver. Drivers who did not finish the Grand Prix: Alison Senegal, Gamey Things, Luke Beck, Meteor Soldier, Racing Pod, Dot Special Energy, Smelly Badger, Luke, and Psychomich. These two were just in cars because they were. But that was a phenomenal race, and we will get the top 3 in. But I want to know whether Steve Pasley's race will stand with it being in with him having the 14 seconds worth of penalties. But first, let's have a chat with them, shall we? Let's get them invited. But that was mad, wasn't it, Twan? See if we can get... Fangirling! Oh, little skirt as well too, is it? There we go. Shouting party for Laser Lord, and then we'll send one to see Pasley. He doesn't need to join if he doesn't want to. We will have a chat though, if we can. There we go. That's 3 invites sent.
So see, Pasley has to come now.
Potentially has to come. It's depending if he comes. We have Laser Lord joining us. If I could just check, mate, is your voice set to share?
Yes.
Good. We'll just see if the other 2 will join us. If not, we might be just talking to you. Oh, Callum Ilott had a big crash in testing today. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
Who was that that just joined us there?
Shane Game.
Shane Game's joined us.
Oh, sorry. Shane Game. Woo!
And see Pasley. Do you want to? I don't mind, Pasley, if you don't want to. I'm going to sit here and just look at this. F1 test debutant Callum Ilott says he caught off guard by a weird moment which led him to spin and crash into a barrier for the Alfa Romeo. That sucks, because I like Callum Ilott, but he's not really setting the world alight right now. Well then, we will wait and see. I think the chat's already kicked off. But before we do all of this, let's have a chat to Chain Game. Is your voice at the share, Robin?
Yeah.
Good. Mate, turn 1 was absolute hell. You and your teammate got caught with actually the other gentleman in here with us. So what happened? With that, but then take us through your race.
I don't really know what happened in the first turn. I will see footage later, I think. But I thought my race was gone, and I was pushing with the ultras till the rain came. And when the rain came, it was pretty boring, and I'm a bit surprised I'm third now.
Well, nonetheless, are you happy with a podium?
Of course.
So, how difficult was it to control your Mercedes in the rain? Obviously, the only Mercedes left in the race. At one point, did you ever consider going onto the extreme full wet tyres?
Around lap 30, I thought to maybe go on to the wets, but I did not to go on the wets.
Luckily, it has saved your race, nonetheless. Next week, as I try and keep talking, because I cannot remember where we're going next week, gonna keep talking, because next week we're heading off to Spain, so heading off to Barcelona. How do you feel about heading to the track that will be disappearing for your home Grand Prix, Zandvoort, in a couple of years' time? Do you need me to repeat the question? That's all right if you need me to.
What? I didn't listen.
That's the first. It's
Real
all right,
Dutch
mate.
people, right?
Well, okay, I'll have that one. Yeah, it's such a stupid question. So next week we're heading off to Spain. This track obviously disappearing, Barcelona disappearing for Zandvoort in a couple of years' time. How does it feel racing knowing that that track will be replaced soon?
Bad. Another bad track for another bad track. Zandvoort, you can never overtake there. There's no point to overtake there. I don't think you can choose a better track than Zandvoort.
Well, nonetheless, it's going to be fun. Are you looking forward to the Spanish Grand Prix? Are you thinking you might be back up here in the podium chat for the SpeedForce Racing chat? I think we'll leave it there. Anyway,
should I just try to just say the question again in Dutch, or?
If you want to, I don't mind.
The problem is I can't remember the question either, so...
We'll leave it there. We'll have a moment. It's been a long day. Alright, so congratulations, Robin, on your first... I think this is your first podium in SFR? I want to say it's his first podium.
Yeah, the last race I was 5th in Baku.
Yes. But nonetheless, congratulations on the podium. Welcome to SFR's podium room. It's nice and comfy in here, isn't it? Anyway, shall we move on to Laser Lord? He's been sat here patiently. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, thanks.
So, you were caught in that collision at turn 1. Do you have any idea on it, or are you waiting to see the footage?
I avoided it. I saw the people ahead of me crash, but I just went through with Ryan, and it was 1-2 Alpha.
Yes,
the first stop.
So, you're going to wait to see the footage, so you make sure that you do that. You make sure that you don't see if you've done anything wrong in that one.
I don't think I touched anyone there. I don't think I touched anyone there, but I will.
Nonetheless, I think it's interesting to look at. It made me scream a little bit on commentary. So just take us through that race. Are you going to be questioning how Steve Pasley has got 14 seconds worth of penalties and possibly still going to keep the win? Are you going to question that?
No, he drove really well and deserved it, so I guess that's it.
Well, then let's just take us through that race for you then.
Yeah, but the race went well. I made a gamble to start on a high cruise, knowing it wouldn't last long, but when the rain didn't come, I thought I made a wrong call. So I had to pit for ultras. Then my pace was good, pitted for inters, and just stayed on it to the end.
So, all in all, do you think you could have done any better in that race if you'd gone onto the ultra soft tyres at the start, or do you think the hypersofts were your best bet at the podium tonight?
I reckon the Hypers were, because I had better pace. I had quite good pace in the Hypers. But I picked up penalties, which made me worry that I would drop out of the podium, but everyone else had it as well. But...
Nonetheless, a brilliant race for you. So looking forward to Spain next week. Are you is that one track that you think you could also join us on the podium, or is that one to forget for you?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really practiced around it. We'll see.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations, and obviously we should turn our attention to Steve Pasley, who's not here because he can't be bothered. But nonetheless, we like Steve Pasley, so he can have it. Championship leader, increasing it. You two are free to go drink champagne, go complain about Zandvoort. I don't mind. You're off my time now. You can go have a nice go have a nice chat. Thank you both of you for joining us. So, moving back to you, Twan. Hello, you're still here.
Hello, I'm here. Yeah.
So. That race had almost everything, though we didn't have a safety car. I could have liked a safety car.
Yeah, we didn't even have a virtual safety.
Oh, hold on. Look who's been hiding here. Do excuse me to go blue. Have you been hiding here?
I did say I was here.
I didn't hear. I do apologise. Twan, go away. I want to talk to the Irishman. Let me
Who's here? Is it Pasley here? Or?
Yeah, go away, Twan.
I haven't heard him. I really haven't heard him.
I'm a terrible commentator. This is the point where I should retire, but I'm not going to. Pasley, hello dear.
Yes.
Do you want to take us through that race so I don't get embarrassed?
I don't think there's much to take you through, to be honest. I didn't do much once again, except drive.
But it's 2 in a row. You're going to be a little bit excited.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the rain helped a lot, to be honest. I wouldn't have won without the rain.
Well, nonetheless, 2 in a row. Championship leader, your nearest championship rival, being Blaz and K, dropping another 4th with penalties.
Yes.
That must feel brilliant. It is looking slightly more likely to be seeing you as champion in GP3 in your final season in SFR. How mad's that?
Still a long way to go.
See, I'm trying to curse him a little bit because I want good racing.
Did you see my spin?
I did not see your spin. Was that where your gap disappeared off to?
Yes.
See, I didn't see that because I thought, oh, he's in the lead.
Too deep in the last turn, and I hit a barrier sticking out, and I lost my front wing.
Oh, so you were damaged as well.
Yeah, luckily I didn't lose my wheel. But...
So that's actually the thing that took out Spenny Badger from the race. The barrier stuck out a little bit longer. We didn't see that on commentary, so apologies for not spotting that. So next week is Spain. Are we going to make it a hat trick of wins?
Spain's not my best track, but I'll give it a go.
Well, you say that about every track, to be honest, and yet you're still there.
I think I was quite lucky with a couple of people being spun out of T1.
Well, with that, are you a little bit worried about the penalties potentially removing that win from you?
I think it's hard not to get penalties on the track, and I got a questionable 5 seconds stop go for cutting a tiny corner. So,
well,
I was expecting to get penalties, to be honest, because I haven't done much practice. And even in practice, I was constantly cutting corners, trying not to though.
Well, nonetheless, mate, you did absolutely fantastically once more to survive and win a race. So one at possibly one of the hardest tracks, and then one at possibly one of the more difficult semi-street circuits in Formula 1. Congratulations, mate, on a second win in SFR.
Cheers.
2 in a row. I mean, that's still mad. Twan, you can come back now. I can have you now for a bit.
Yep.
There's no one else here, is there? No, good. Okay. I need a note to know whenever people join. Twan, that race had almost everything barring a safety car, barring a virtual safety car. Do you remember anything that happened? Because I don't know what happened past the last lap at this point.
I have no idea anymore.
Well, out of 10, how was that race? We only had 8 finishes, which is the same as we had at Baku, but it's easily done. This track was very difficult in the wet, and even if the dry was difficult. How was that race out of 10 for you?
I mean, I don't want to give it too much, because I think that we have been really nice on the numbers lately, but it's another good race, so it's hard
really
not
hard
to give...
grade it, isn't it? That's what
I mean, it's hard to really not give that good grades, because every single race is a good race, so I'd give it maybe 8, not to get overly ambitious with it.
I think I'm going to go 7.5, and that's just because, not because of the drivers, it's not the fault of the drivers who did crash out, but because I'd like to see a little bit more finishers. But again, this track is difficult, and that is not down to any drivers. This is a difficult track. It says easy there, it really is quite difficult on this game, with the way the suspension changes were changed for this game. You can't go flat out in some corners, and the car does oversteer quite heavily now. It felt rather unbalanced when I last raced here. But nonetheless, I think a 7.5 is worthy of it. It was a great race for strategy-wise. But we're not done at Canada, because tomorrow the GP2 drivers get to have a crack at this track. Twan, you're not going to be racing in GP2 due to your wheels still being in Paris, I assume. But what would you be looking for? Would you have watched this race? Well, obviously you would have watched this race, but if you weren't commentating, would you have watched this race to try and learn the track a little bit better?
I mean, it's one of the reasons that I really wanted to have this commentating position, because it makes me, as well as commentating, I can really look into the strategies and just see how people are performing and how they, where there's grip, where there's not grip, where it can overtake those things. You can't do that on time trial. You need to get to look at people driving to really, or drive yourself in a race to really find those things out.
So would you suggest to all of the GP2 drivers to watch GP3 to learn more about the track?
No, I wouldn't, because I don't want to have them to. I won't give them any opportunities to equal the performance, so I need a head start. So.
See, saying that, I say all drivers should watch GP2, GP3, even if it's just for a couple of laps, just to see what the drivers are doing, see how much quicker you are, and see how much fun you're having. Still, GP2, it will be having a nice race tomorrow night where I'll be joined by insert commentator here due to Alex unfortunately having a broken headset, unable to join us for commentary. But nonetheless, Twan, thank you so much for joining us, though you did miss most of qualifying. Thank you for joining us on commentary.
Yeah, no problem. I have one thing I want to say to you before we end.
Sucks?
No.
Okay.
It is I have gotten an email with saying that my wheel is estimated to come back on Monday.
Oh, so potentially we might be seeing you back in the car then.
Maybe potentially next week.
So
I'll have my exams now, and then I will hopefully get my wheel back, and then I will try to get a bit of control again, and hopefully we'll see next time. I'll have the wheel ready.
Well, that is fantastic
for the next
news.
Commentating session.
That is fantastic news, and we will keep an eye out. We'll keep chatting to Twan and try and find out whether he will be joining us for a race on around Spain. Nonetheless, thank you for joining us on commentary, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Pleasure as always.
You can't talk, can I? I mean, all the way through the race, I was being an Harvey. Nonetheless, though, it's time for this stream to end. Make sure if you want to join us for SpeedForce Racing GP2 around Spain, that's tomorrow night at 7:25 with commentary from me and someone else will be announced soon. Hopefully, I can possibly do it on my own, but you know, who knows. Nonetheless, Twan, always a pleasure to join us. My name is Jimmy. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time at SpeedForce Racing. Ta-ra, guys!
Bye.